hit the start streaming button.
Cool.
I'm a streaming man.
All right. Hey, there we are. Okay, I see us. Do I hear us? Okay, I hear me. I hear you.
You can hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, Carrie. All right, I'm going to mute myself in the Google Meet. I am now Google Meet muted.
Okay.
Brandon, you turned off your video camera. Now you turn it back on. So you're back.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
Can you... Yeah. All right. Move me to the left slightly.
Okay, hold on. I accidentally grabbed the wrong one. Brandon.
Thank you. Perfect.
I love it.
Can you layer me so that I'm coming behind?
Oh, yeah, that's the key. That's the key.
All right. I think we've got the audio sorted out. Yeah, there we go.
Carrie, can you see this? You should get Carrie on the live.
So let's see. I'm going to get this going.
Yeah.
Should I be looking at anything in particular, or just?
If you go to YouTube, you can see the
look at the screen, look around. We'll kick it off here. So, hello everyone, welcome back to the Game-Based Learning Review on the Filament Games YouTube channel. I'm Brandon, one of the hosts, and Dan is also here.
Hello.
Where is he?
Down here.
He's in the corner.
Yeah.
Say hi, Dan.
Hi. How's it going?
I can't hear you.
Ah.
Why can't I hear Dan?
I can fix that. Maybe.
Hold on a second.
I'm going to say more words while we sort out audio. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Are you playing peekaboo?
I'm trying to figure out exactly which... I think I'm mirrored, but I'm having a hard time with the delay. In which way that I'm mirrored. This is nice, though. It's kind of like you're driving a bus, and I'm way in the back.
Yeah. Okay, so I just unmuted myself in our meeting so that you could hear me. Could you not hear me?
This is better.
This is better?
We need you in the meeting, I think. Yeah, we need you in the meeting.
Interesting. All right, well, I'm going to disable this whole mic. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I still hear you.
Okay, because I disabled my specific mic tracking in OBS. But I guess I'm just going to run myself like this. So,
yeah, let's do that because I can hear you coming through nicely on the stream now. So
okay.
So yeah, we'll get going. So yeah, like I said, I'm Brandon. That's Dan over there. We're doing a quick audio sorting here. But excitingly, we are joined today by a very special guest and friend of Filament Games. Please give a warm welcome to Carrie Ray-Hill, Senior Director of Digital Learning at iCivics.org. Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
Hello. So Carrie's here for a discussion and playthrough of Investigation Declaration with Colonial Williamsburg, the latest release from iCivics.org. You've probably heard of them, but just in case you haven't, iCivics.org is the venerated game-based learning platform founded by Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, with whom it has been our privilege to create a whole library of free-to-play, civics-oriented learning games that have been played more than 200 million times collectively. So this is made possible by the fact that iCivics serves an annual audience of more than 145,000 teachers and 9 million students. Absolutely staggering reach. And this unparalleled reach is a testament to the potential of game-based learning at scale. So we're super excited to check in with them today about how we're teaching civics in our schools and our classrooms as the future of education evolves all around us. So to kick things off today, Carrie, I just wanted to ask a bit about your background because students often ask us about career paths into the world of games and learning. So how did you first get involved with iCivics?
I was teaching U.S. government, civics, English, whatever, in Washington, D.C. And the school was a charter school and it closed. And I had a friend who's like, hey, Justice O'Connor's doing this thing. You should check it out. And so I was employee number 4.
Wow.
It is not something that I planned on being a curriculum writer, which is the initial job. And I definitely didn't see myself in games because I didn't play video games. I bought a Wii the moment I got hired in 2010.
Was that your
That's
first
how
console?
cool. That was my first console.
Wow.
It's a banger of an opener, though. It's a good one.
It's true. Yeah, good
I
place
was
to
a
start.
very good Call of Duty player. Thank you so much. With a Wii. So I never, like, this was not on my bingo sheet for life, this gig, this job. But what I realized is I wasn't just, when I say just a teacher, like I was an educator, and I could do it either in a classroom with my kids, which I did for about 8 years, or and like maybe figure out scale and like work to create materials for classrooms to help teachers do the things that I struggled to do myself. So I have a history degree background. I am a nerd. I love the history, and I like explaining things to people and making things simpler. So that's kind of my, I don't know, my life skill that I bring. And so far it's done all right for 15 years.
So applying those, sorry, what was that?
That's how I got here.
Yeah, there you go. So, how you apply those skills is something that I want to kind of ask about now. So when you're working at iCivics, like, you're kind of working on curriculum stuff, you're working on the game design with our team very directly and very closely, working on the supplementary materials. What does the day-to-day look like, and what kind of challenges are you currently tackling?
My day-to-day is different every day. Some days are research days, some days are writing days, some days are days where I'm doing nothing but Zoom calls with people across our company, across other, organizations and groups. But for an example, to get a little bit more tactical about this, is we're gonna be updating a game with new content that's very important coming up with Win the White House. Spoiler alert, it's happening. And
you heard it here first. This is
issues change over time, right? So we have traditionally referenced the party platforms from the presidential election most recent, and those have changed because the platforms themselves sometimes aren't being updated on a regular basis, and also the speed of change in our political world is significantly faster than it was, the 3 times we've updated the game thus far.
Right.
And electoral votes have changed. So what I'm doing in addition to calls today is researching where the issues, right, the campaign issues are for the 2026 midterm elections, and then also trying to forecast based on like polling numbers and other sources of data like Pew and the Gallup polls, where people are thinking and forecasting for their issues possibly to see in the 2026 election. I'm not going to promise it's a verisimilitude of what we're going to have, but it's a lot of work in figuring out how also to simplify those very complicated political issues down to a playable stance in a video game.
Right. So, and it's interesting to hear those sources that you're pulling from. Are there any sources outside of like Gallup and Pew that you're pulling in, just out of my own personal curiosity?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a news junkie and a political news junkie, so that's just constantly coming into my brain cells.
Sure.
Reading, I read Politico a lot, so they go kind of deep into like strategy and like party politics stuff. So I'm reading that. Actually just recently got into Gallup and Pew as far as the kind of stuff that they're delivering on, and then which is pretty cool. They have like the issue of the month kind of a thing of like what people are most activated by, which is a new website I'm starting to hit up more often. Let's see, so the news, various news sources, polling, and then I'm also just trying to see where the kids are at. So I'm interested in making sure that we integrate youth issues or issues that like the kids who are playing this game might be more interested in. And so kind of just seeing and tracking, I don't use social media anymore, but like tracking that, where thank you. I'm a much happier person. It's been a year and a half. Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Round of applause.
But like seeing the kind of things that are elevating and rising to the top in with youth is also an important thing to consider.
So that brings a question to my mind, which is, as you're working on something like this, and we're talking about these cycles being so fast now, how do you kind of pick your pencils down moment when you sort of lock the content in?
I think we're looking for truth of consistency,
Mm.
and because there's some wild cards, right? We don't know, like there may be a huge natural disaster that might change everything. So I'm not promising a set of platform issues that are going to match what 2026 is going to look like, because that's not what teachers also are looking for.
Right.
I think in education, the point is, what are the main kind of big issues that have been consistently tracking over the last, let's say, 2 years, 3 years back, and haven't been resolved yet, right? So some things are growing in complexity and intensity. Other things are kind of fading out of popularity. So like, where are those issues happening? So I'm taking, if you play now, our 2016 update, those are the issues that I'm kind of looking and seeing, like, has this faded out of the view?
Sure.
Public view? Is this still under debate? Is this a core political issue, right? There are core political issues that aren't going to go away, right? So
Right.
there's like government spending and size, like that's an issue that will always be
evergreen
filtered
debate
through the parties differently, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends on like how big are the issues in the news. The teachers can like run with that, but I'm going for like more of a decade of truth that I'm trying to find across the bar.
So with that, you know, as a news junkie, is that your favorite aspect of creating these games, is going out and doing this research? Or if not, what is?
This particular thing I usually call in for, like, what is it when you're getting paid for battle?
Mercenary work?
Hard, huh?
Mercenary work?
Oh no, I know what you're saying. No, there's a term for that.
It's stressful because I used to read both platforms fully,
Mm.
and the platforms are meant to kind of be a raw statement, and so they're very much propagandic. And I don't think even the people who write them wouldn't disagree with me. Like, they're meant to convince, right, and sell the ideas of the issues.
Persuasive, yeah.
I am like a rhetoric junkie also, and so all I do is just like so much rhetoric I can't read it. So that actually, I'm enjoying this process more by looking at the polls and not going directly to just the party documents.
Gotcha.
I look at them, but that's not the only place I'm going to look.
Sure.
I do like researching and saying, okay, I have a blank spreadsheet, because I love spreadsheets. I don't do
who
math,
doesn't?
but I love spreadsheets. But to find, like, how do I take this really involved thing and simplify it to 250 characters, right? That's not something I realized was a skill I had until I had to do it, and now I love it, and I just like seek that part of development out, and don't give it up lightly. Like, you can take it from my cold dead hands in development. So that's fun. And then also, when we get into the game piece, you'll see kind of taking some really big ideas and making them kind of chewable.
Yeah. So getting into this game a little bit, it is a time traveling game, some amount of time travel to it. So I had another question for you that's relevant to that, which is, what is your favorite era of American history to cover with these games or otherwise? You have to pick the best era of American history.
Okay. I would love to make something around the Cold War and the culture of America during the Cold War, because the language is familiar, just from a practical standpoint.
Sure.
Working in kind of the New Republic and Revolutionary era is hard, because they like their words. They were very effusive with their language, and
they're paid by the letter back then.
Exactly. And so, like, everything that we do, that we bring primary sources to, which is a very critical piece of doing good history, requires a lot of dancing around, like, how do we translate this for kids? How do we keep the nature of it true? Who are we going to make angry by translating it to modern speak? So I would love to do something in like the modern era. And the 50s was kind of my jam when I was
something that requires a little bit less translation into our contemporary
I mean, it's still a
language.
million years ago for kids today, but for me, like, I can do WAP and get in the vibe with my oldies music, and also that piece of
get a massive quaff going.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Investigation Declaration as we transition towards some gameplay here. So let's start with a quick overview of the game and what Dan is going to encounter as he goes on his investigations today. And specifically, what can teachers and students sort of expect from this, and what are the learning objectives here?
Well, That's a lot of questions.
It's 4 questions at once, so answer all of them quickly, and then we'll get
Reverse
into the
order,
game.
please. Reverse order. Yeah.
With interpretive dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very good at it.
Okay, so I will say that this came from my heart because this is actually, I had an amazing professor in college that taught a class about the Enlightenment and the French Revolution. And there was something so core and interesting about these ideas of the Enlightenment and how they have threads moving in all directions that to me, it's like, wow, we could teach a connective civics or history, you know, with this stuff. So I sat on it for 15 years. And then what's really cool is this historian named David Armitage wrote this book, short, cute little book called The Declaration of Independence, A Global History. And what I'm gonna quote this and then we'll move on from primary sources for a second. But other groups of people adopted and sometimes adapted specific phrases from the Declaration. More often, they took its structure as a model for their own. Many more such declarations were written without the flattery or direct imitation. So he takes our declaration and then shows where and how different countries adapted or adopted. And so those 2 words were really stuck with me. And then also, it didn't come fully formed from Jefferson's head, right? He got these ideas from somewhere, and that somewhere is the Enlightenment. So for me, it's a through line. And you have to go through time and place to get that through line to really understand the big picture of ideas. And so I like history of ideas, I like the history of how ideas move and do things. And so somehow I lucked out and got to make a game about it. So it's all about me.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're here to talk about it.
Thanks.
Speaking of primary sources.
Yeah. So we did like kind of zoom in to 100 years, 1750 to about 1850. And what we do is we introduce you to the ideas, right? The 3 big ideas, which are natural rights, state sovereignty, and the social contract. Yeah. You've heard of that one. But those 3 exist before, during, and after our declaration in lots of different places in lots of different ways. And I wanted the kids to have to find it, seek them out, find evidence of them, and then make the links themselves. So I'm kind of asking kids to do a really high level thing, but we're doing it in a fun way where you're traveling through time, you're basically investigating evidence in a scene, and then you're doing a Mad Lib to pull it all together. And so you're tracking things down, and then that's the structure, is you explore, you collect evidence in words, and you use those words in a Mad Lib to make a link.
Got it. So before we get into the gameplay, I'm curious to know how the Bob and Marion Wilson Teacher Institute at Colonial Williamsburg helped bring this game to life.
Somebody's got to pay the bills. They were very gracious in supporting our work in our obviously they work very closely with Colonial Williamsburg, and the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation kind of worked and partnered with us to make this game. So I definitely wasn't alone in my basement working. I had a team that I got to work with. I had a rich group of historians. The folks at Colonial Williamsburg are just fantastic. And so we were able to kind of combine forces with the support of the foundation.
Awesome. Yeah. It's super cool to hear that there are real historians and, much like yourself, helping you augment that research process and bring as much, veracity to the game as possible and as much rigor. So that's great. So I think from here we can just get into the game. So Dan, it seems like you're clicking around. Are you underway or?
Oh yeah, I'm cooking, man.
All right, let's hear what we're doing. What are you up to over here?
Well, I'm in the HQ right now for our agency, and I'm trying to collect all of my little sweet snippets, which are like little pieces of information that I'll be able to apply together to make meaning and ultimately make connections between different times and places.
So the HQ, what agency are we with here? Let's get a little bit of narrative framing.
Yeah, so you are a part of an organization that's top secret at the Bureau of Ideas.
Okay.
And what's happened is some super baddies from BARF, Baddies Against Rights and Freedom. I have to hat tip my buddy Sophie and the marketing side that came up with that for our bad guy name. I'm into Bond,
Mhm.
so like all the Bond bad guy acronyms. We
Mhm.
brought in them.
I love
We
it.
got,
Yeah, that was one of my questions. So shout out Sophie for coming up
yeah.
with the idea of the BARF organization.
Mhm.
We had a lot of weird things come up when we brainstorm, and usually there's one beautiful weird thing. So that's what we went with.
Mhm.
And so they were out destroying any record of rights and freedoms across the world. Our
Mm,
region that we're in charge of is the Atlantic region, which is also a hat tip to professors and my husband who studies
Mhm.
Atlantic history rather than colonial history. This was like a work of heart here. But in the space, you are just trying to bring it all back together.
got it.
And we create the headquarters as a tutorial if you haven't figured that out yet. Like it's a way to kind of teach you what you need to poke on and do and execute on in order to actually play the game.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going through the book of ideas right now.
Yeah, right now I'm sorting out some core ideas.
Okay.
You know, like what is a state sovereignty? So here's we're talking about sovereignty, so I'm collecting it. I think I got everything. And now I gotta collect all unlocked snippets in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the map.
And so Philly's kind of the hub, right?
Yeah.
So that's where our declaration happened.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly enough, I did not put in Jefferson because everybody's seen him before. He's in another game or two of ours.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to bring in people and characters that you may not ever see in a game, or really even see in history books. So that was fun, researching the folks as well as the locations that we picked, to get at stories that, again, really bring life to these declarations and to these situations in which freedom was declared.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool to surface these lesser known figures or just more, atypical figures that hadn't been covered before.
Mhm.
Dan, I'm trying to see, I'm not sure if we're getting game audio.
No, I turned it off very quickly because I was like, oh, it's so loud. Let me see.
Let's see if you can mix it low a little bit.
Is that coming through? Is that coming through? Getting audio?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I can move up the sound effects. I will keep voice off because that'll just scramble my brain trying to
Yes,
listen.
that's fine.
Yeah. Look at all these amazing accessibility features for how you want to mitigate both language and sound and glossary. It's very nice.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. All of these clippings can be read, right, when you click the little
Yes.
speaker. Yeah, that's super important. That aligns with universal design for learning, where as much written text is also available as audio as possible.
And again, we're working in the 18th century, so the language is intense.
Yes.
So lots of hover gloss or pop-up glossary situations were needed. We don't like to throw in a whole ton, but we kind of had to in places where it was pretty important.
Yeah, some of these words are definitely advanced. We're looking at $10 words here. So I think you touched on this a little bit earlier, but how did we arrive at that focus on these three core ideals of state sovereignty, natural rights, and the social contract?
I'm going to hat tip it to David Armitage. In the elements across the different declarations that were looked at and reviewed and kind of considered in his book, they were the ones that kind of were consistent across declarations. Okay. And I will say not every declaration that we have in this game has all three, which is kind of cool too, because like the Declaration of Sentiments in Seneca Falls is just saying, hey, the ladies have rights too, right? They weren't trying to like separate as a country. They were just like, hello, we're more than half the population, give us some rights. It didn't work, but it was a declaration just the same. And others weren't necessarily trying to become independent that would foment a revolution. Like Liberia, it said, hey, we've made this agreement and kind of company that colonized the space for former slaves no longer needs to be an administrative action, right?
Mhm.
So they were going for state sovereignty more so than the other two. So each declaration has its own story. And this is not a game about revolutions.
Mhm.
I made sure that I don't think revolution is said anywhere in this game or its support materials, because a lot of people hear declaration and then just think revolution.
Mhm.
Sure.
Not so.
Interesting.
It's the act of saying, I'm declaring something. Either I have
See.
rights, I have
Mhm.
independence, or we demand this kind of agreement between the government and the people, which is a social contract.
Yeah, I'll admit I probably had that same correlation in my mind too, where it's just kind of one and the same. But of course, you're right. As you differentiate them like this, it's there's one is the statement, and then there may be action to follow, depending perhaps on the reaction to the statement or the declaration.
And the ladies tried twice. We got Seneca Falls and Olympe de Gouges in Paris. So
Mhm.
it took a while after that too, which is a great extension activity to do with kids. It's like, who declared didn't get what they declared.
Oh, sure, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, if your declaration didn't work the first time, keep declaring it. That's the lesson. So Dan, let's get into some let's play action here. Tell us what you're doing and talk us through it.
Okay, well, so now I've been to HQ and I've been to Philadelphia, so I'm going to try and make a link. So I'm going to try and link the idea of natural rights. So the link has been found, but now I've got to actually put together the reasoning to do it.
Got it.
So let's see.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that. My mission is to restore the U.S. Declaration of Independence. I
So
travel to Philly.
Is everyone always Special Agent 6 when they play?
Well,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
this is the training one. So later on, you'll say more things about other people doing things.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think that looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Looks
Oh,
accurate.
it's so loud. Hold on. I got to turn the sound effects down. Yeah. All right. Link is linked. Look at that. Yeah, I wish we would have implemented that you could like twang the rope once it's been made, you know? Wouldn't that be nice if it could go doing?
Next Unity update.
nice.
Do that.
Yeah. All right. All right, so did it. Complete a link by restoring the missing snippets. Nailed it. Okay. I think I've now been let loose upon the world.
All right. Here we go. And
There's
time.
Paris. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've leashed on space and time.
Williamsburg.
Lock some locations, so you couldn't be totally free at first. When we did some playtesting,
Yeah.
a lot of the kids were like, "I love all the locations, but it's overwhelming."
It is a lot,
and
yeah.
so what we did is we kind of once you get going, you have a
Yeah.
few more options, and then you get a few more options. And there are a ton of different ways to play and complete links for a full path.
Yeah.
Because what you want to do is track one idea through as many links as you can to make a path.
Yeah.
And teachers, all of that's provided to you in the support
Yeah.
materials.
Got it.
Yeah. One thing that was crazy about making this game is I didn't really know a lot about Haiti's Declaration of Independence, and I had no idea. It's an amazing topic of just how absolutely screwed Haiti was. It's an insane piece of history that I recommend everyone just check out. It'll drop your jaw to find out what France did to Haiti for basically doing what we did. We're like, hey, we want to be people that do our own thing. I mean, and Haiti was like, hey, we would like our people to not be property anymore. Yeah, it's wild stuff, man.
Yeah, we don't teach it nearly enough, which was also intentional in this game, that it's also somewhat of a hub for inspiration. And the U.S. didn't help by not recognizing it as its own sovereign state until the Civil War.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the history, like the present of Haiti, cannot be explained without the history of Haiti.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
It's wild.
basically France demanded reparations for like you stole our slaves by declaring your people free.
Wow.
They're like, you got to pay us. Anyway, all right. Kind of a downer, honestly. Let's move on. Yeah.
History usually is, guys.
History is often a downer.
History
that's
often a
another
downer.
important
That's
lesson.
yeah. Yeah.
It'll be my side hustle.
This is why we study it. We have to do better.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. All right. Collect some snippets about Venezuela.
I just have to say, as I was doing my preparatory playthrough of this game, just to get ready for the stream, I was really taken by the UX and all the motion and animations in the interface. It's really pleasing, and it makes a lot out of these assets. Makes the scenes feel very dynamic.
Mad props to the team. That this was such a big game and such a big kind of audacious set of goals to hit that not only did we hit them out of the park, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, I do think this game was a departure, right? Like we really were like, let's really explore some totally undone mechanics in the iCivics oeuvre. Like this game is a very different game in a lot of ways. And I do think mechanically we're asking players to think like literally in multi-dimensional problems, right? We got time and space, and like how does an idea have commonalities in different parts of the world from different people at different times? And it's tough. It is it's a really interesting chewy mechanic, which is really pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
so we make sure in every scene that there's both evidence and then humans engaging with one another, which is important because that's how you get perspectives brought in and/or other like name droppings, which helps with covering additional content.
425,000.
That is atrocious.
Yeah.
But I think these are really important things to surface, which is the sort of diverging paths that all these declarations took and created for the people that made them.
Yeah.
A lot of times the reasons for them aren't what we think they are, right? Or they're not as clear. Like if you do the Texan independence, which comes later in the game, that, you look at what are we declaring it from? What's the history? How long does it, you don't see how long it lasts, but it's very interesting in who's declaring independence from what. It's not the native population.
So what was the sort of like prime period for declaring things?
It was this 100 years.
Now, this 100 year.
There was like, I don't have a graph, but I'll do it with my hands. Like this was a big moment, right?
Sure.
Like around and from our declaration. And then you look into the independence movements of the Eastern Bloc after the fall of communism. You've got like those kind of moments of splits, right? Yugoslavia, those kind of areas. So like in the 80s and 90s was another time. And I think there's probably been some other like upticks, but usually it takes some big moment of like kind of the decline of colonization, but like it kind of had its time in the Atlantic world and it started to spin out by this time. And then you've also got like, again, the influence of USSR and stuff and that kind of ending, right? And then independence spin-offs from that.
Okay.
In Eastern Europe.
I am big into you for the hand gesture, so now I'm gonna squish back down. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
I don't have a whiteboard, guys.
Yeah. That worked pretty good. Yeah.
I'll make a clip and draw a little line in later.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Going to Paris. Fashionable men and women gather at salons where discussions of art, literature, and politics are guided by a talented hostess.
Well, that sounds nice.
It does.
Twice.
Yeah.
It's a hot spot.
Mm-hmm.
Does that still happen?
What?
Are they still doing salons in France? I don't know.
I don't know.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the big like pompadour.
Yeah.
Well, they're missing a trick then.
I think so.
It's
Should be
good
powered.
stuff. Natural right is a claim justified by reason. There's a power inherent in every individual, a power that predates society itself. It's a big idea, man. Big idea.
Oh, hey, Gigi's in the chat. Hey, Gigi. Your
What's up,
bonjour
Gigi?
has been auto-translated.
Yeah.
She said hi to Carrie first, so.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Bonjour.
Do you like my tiny person mode over here? I was like right in the way of like the buttons, so
Yeah.
I got real big there.
Bite-sized Dan Norton, yeah.
Can view you viewing the snippets now, which is good.
Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah, I've got natural rights.
And the art here is banging. Like it is so good.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun finding all the, because they're not pictures of Haiti like that, right? There aren't photographs in a lot of instances of the places that we're showing, and so we either like there's lots of evidence of stuff here in Paris, but like in Texas, we actually went down. I didn't go there, but like we talked to the people at Washington and Brazos where it happened, and they have a site that they do historical interpretation. So I got to talk to them, and they got to give them a tour online and like all that stuff. So we got as tight with the locations as we could possibly get.
Awesome.
The American sites were easier, obviously, but there was lots of really deep, fun research to get there.
Oops.
I'm just appreciating how these scenes are layered, so you get like this really cool parallax effect when it's zooming in and out, as opposed to just being like sort of a zoom in on a flat image or something. So it really makes the scenes feel alive.
I also love the I'll call it like the Assassin's Creed little data overlay when you're zip zip doo doo.
Yes.
Yep.
We're in France, but also it's the future.
Yeah, Gigi, you might like this one. This is the whole thing's basically just investigating these Enlightenment ideals across countries and across eras. So it is very much an investigation style game that aligns with Nancy Drew mechanics and mores.
I feel like, so I'm doing what I normally do as a human being. I'm just like strip mining all snippets before I start making meaning. Which is, I'm sorry, maybe I should go over to try and make a few connections now before, because like everyone can see that, you go around and you collect all the stuff, but that's really just kind of like the exploration phase. The making meaning phase is like where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, we got some synthesis to do.
Yeah. Let's see if I can make some links. I think I can make some, let's see if I got one of these. Nope. Maybe I do need to do a little bit more digging.
More strip mining.
Yeah.
Back to the idea mines.
Well, what about Paris and Philly? I might have a Paris and Philly about natural rights. Oh, I do.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Time for Mad Libs.
All right, intellectual gathering in Philadelphia. Let's go. Locke, Hobbes, and oh no, I don't have enough. I need more. All right, back to strip mining. Must gather all information.
We're always saying that on this stream for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, and this was kind of intentional because there's so many different player types of player styles that I am a completist also, where I just do all the things and then I do the next thing that I have to do all the things of. But I know that that's not the way everybody plays. And so you could explore the entire world in this game before you ever make a link, if you want to. You could be hyper focused and go, you know what, I'm just here for the natural rights. Thank you very much. And so you can just do what you have to do to get the natural rights link and be done. which also gives, I think, teachers a way to say, hey, I'm going to give you 30 minutes to play this game. Let's stay focused on scope, or play wild, play as much as you want. I'm going to give you a day or two to do it, and you just get as many threads as you can, as many paths as you can. Because I don't know how teachers want to use this. They may be teaching one big idea. They may be teaching one place. They may be teaching, one connection. And with this game, you can kind of limit the scope and say, I want you just to visit these 3 places and then figure out what the link is, right? There's all kinds of ways to like get at the game, and you'll still get a certificate if you complete a path. Or you can do all the paths for your certificate. It's a cool way to be able to kind of, again, this is not how iCivics games usually work. It's usually you play it, you get your certificate, you're done. You replay it if you want, but it's going to be kind of a relatively randomly similar experience. This, you can do a bunch of different pathways and still be done.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe let's see. I haven't actually messed with my little time traveler. Go to 1776 Philadelphia. Do I get?
Seems
Oh
different.
yeah, there's more stuff to be had.
Things are heating up.
Things are heating up.
You do have to hit Philly twice, because the first time it's just for that tutorial link.
Yeah.
And everything else unlocks.
Yeah.
And in Philly there is a Easter egg.
Oh my goodness.
If you played Uncovering Loyalties, which is our other game that was created with Colonial Williamsburg, there is a shared asset.
Ah, that's cool.
We got Tommy J here.
So we're working on building out the iCivics extended universe, is what you're telling me.
That's what I do with my free time. I figure that out.
Yeah, we need post game cutscenes to like bring Robert Downey Jr. in all of a sudden. That'd be great.
Yeah, playing Ben Franklin. Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna be the next one.
Robert Downey Jr. is Ben Franklin. Who would be a good Ben Franklin these days? John
Paul
Cena.
Giamatti, but he's already been Adams. So.
Yeah, no, it's John Cena.
That was actually going to be my same thing, Carrie. I was going, well, Paul Giamatti, but he's already.
Yeah,
they already
He's
tagged him.
Yep, he's
Tapped
already
him.
done. Yep,
Been there, done that.
yep.
Just dropping these links in the chat, by the way, for anyone who's interested in checking either of these games out. These are the 2 links for the Colonial Williamsburg games, both of which we are very proud of.
And Uncovering
Sovereignty.
Loyalties is a little more, I would say, upper elementary focused to middle school. It covers content that you can cover up through high school, so I wouldn't say don't play it. But check it out, because it talks about why people want to be loyalists, or they might be persuaded to become patriots, or they'd be neutral. Because spoiler alert, it was a full 3rd break. So in Williamsburg, prior to all of this happening in 1765, I think is the year we picked, it was a third. It wasn't everyone was crazy patriots. So like understanding that there was a diversity of opinion in that place really helps understand that this wasn't a predestined event in American history. It was something that had to develop and be, acted upon.
Very interesting. Would you
And this
say
one's,
that?
I'd say middle to high school. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask, if you were going to take these 2 games, which would you say is like the order to play them in?
Ooh.
Which one's the sequel?
I think, well, technically this one is the sequel.
Okay.
Uncovering Loyalties is one place, different humans in that place. And so that really helps you get like boots on the ground understanding of pre-declaration vibes, I guess. Which would help you then, I think, probably see that all of these declarations were probably pretty complicated, and all the locations in which they were created were probably done in a place of conflict and of opinion. I would put it that way.
All right, what do you guys think of this link? What do you think?
All right, let's see.
It's all about natural rights. So, intellectual gathering in Paris discovered the concept of natural rights inspired by the works of Locke, Hobbes, and Rousseau.
Okay.
These books can be also found in the library of Thomas Jefferson. The Virginia Declaration of Rights also applied this idea, inspiring Jefferson to use it. No, that doesn't make sense. Does it? Sugar? Does sugar also apply this idea? No. The Lee resolution. I don't remember what the Lee resolution is. Should I guess it or should I go look it up in my collection of stuff?
I am.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, let's reference it. We're
Yeah.
historians, serious historians.
Yeah. All right. So I want to view my snippets.
Consult the text.
Okay, no, I did that already. Do I go to a place to see my? Let's go back.
And yeah,
to that.
Gigi, you're right. We could have a rabid Nancy Drew audience on our hands if we added stolen artifacts to these kind of things. Something to think about for the future.
Okay, that's not where I got my Lee resolution.
We ever gonna do like a national treasure game starring Nicolas Cage?
Oh, I thought I'd be able to sort of dig into the resolution from here, but I guess I gotta visit and read it in the spot.
I will say the answer's in the answer. The idea's in the answer.
Oh. There we go. Richard Helen really poses. Yes. Okay. All right. There we go. All right.
We found the clue.
I'm feeling good about that one. Paris, Philadelphia. It makes a great sound. Yeah. I think I got it.
Moment of truth.
I'm gonna hit the button. I blew it.
No.
How'd I blow it? Errors detected. An intellectual
Misaligned.
gathering in Paris. I knew Rousseau was in there.
Yep. So
It's not
what are
George
your
Mason.
options on the last thing? Last
Oh, I read this as the Declaration of Independence. I was like, well, of course he wouldn't use the Declaration of Independence to write the Declaration of Independence. So I went with the other one. But okay, all right, let's try that.
Yeah, Virginia did a lot of
Ah.
things first.
Yeah.
In their own way.
Oh,
There we
So-
go.
And he wrote that one too.
Yeah,
fascinating. Well, you had it all along.
yeah, we did.
That's okay. You went back. It's
Yeah.
like it's inquiry, right? Like you've got
Yeah.
a question, you're gonna go find the
Yeah,
answer.
it's so
Right.
frustrating. I had to like learn stuff to do it correctly. Oh, what's
Ugh.
wrong with games these days? Yeah.
Where's the I win button?
Yeah. All right, let's see. I can make some more links. Let's try social contract. I'm fishing a little bit. Let's see what I got. Hey, we got something.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Influenced by philosophers like... I'm going to go with Rousseau again. All right. Demand for Haitian exports allowed the movement of both goods and ideas from the U.S. and abroad. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Let me look at my other options. No. 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 Absolutely. Wanting to make sure that the Haitians people's rights were protected by a government. Their leaders probably demand. Let me see what my other options are. Well, modeled their independence. Modeled their independence after that of the United States.
Yeah, my vote's on modeled.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this is a
It's looking airtight.
one and done, baby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the map, there's colors of your little pins,
Mhm.
and that's
Uh-huh.
also a very quick way to see like blue, 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 or orange, orange, orange.
Oh, you're right. I can
Okay.
purple. I can purple the purple from Philly, and how do I pronounce this out loud? Gonaives?
I think so.
Gonaives? Gonaives? I don't know. Gonaives? Okay. Apologies to anyone in Haiti who's like, how dare you? All right. Let's see. State sovereignty. There we go.
think that I means you say naives. Because that
Go
I is in the
naive?
word naive. So I think it's go naives.
That makes sense. All right.
Go naive, not the S. You don't
Yeah.
say the S. Go naive. No, we don't.
Enslaved soldiers who volunteered to fight in the revolution in the library in America returned back home.
They fought in Georgia on behalf of the American patriots.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were motivated to claim Haiti as an independent nation. The Haitian Declaration announced the nation's rights among the nations and created the world's first black-red republic, which the rest of the world proceeded to absolutely screw over.
Yep.
Mhm.
You might go back
I
to
blew it.
yeah,
Oh.
the nation's what are your other options?
Oh, in here? Errors detected. Misaligned snip. Oh, I got two things wrong, man.
Oh, boy.
I could say standing.
Yep.
So as we were testing it, how did we kind of tune this
Yeah.
sort of error feedback?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This was hard. This was
Yeah.
so much harder than we'd
Yeah.
anticipated. Because we also had to do this in Spanish and make it make sense in
Yeah.
Spanish.
Oh, sure.
Oh, there we
Um,
go. Haitian
Which
soldiers.
was its own challenge, right?
Yeah.
Worth it, but a challenge.
Mhm.
We play tested this over and over again, and we did tweak. It was harder than this
Mhm.
before.
Mhm.
And so playtesting with kids and adults, because this is all new to most humans that are playing this, we were able to tweak things here and there. What we wanted to do was let you know something was wrong, but also not give it away. We wanted
Right.
to work for it a little harder. So we did try to help let you know what needed to happen, or at least to take another try.
Mhm.
And there were whole meetings around the word motivated. There were
Mhm.
whole conversations with historians around the word, whatever
Yeah.
stand. It was not nitpicked to death. It was nitpicked to very
To the
specific
optimal state.
language.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was, and I that's what I love doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not this part, and I will again, teachers. This is in the extension pack, teacher guide. We show you the links and we show you the right language. But we wanted the player to explore and fail and try again and engage a bit. And this is where you can fail. The other stuff you can't really fail at. So this is where that kind of trying and learning and thinking about the meaning of words and I don't know if I can make Mad Libs more enticing or not, but the idea is you play around with it and see what sticks. Which is better than a multiple choice quiz on what's the difference between the Virginia resolves and the Virginia, rights of whatever.
Mhm. Well, as I'm watching Dan here kind of wrap up some of this playthrough, I want to ask some questions just about kind of how the game has been received, and I know you mentioned some of the materials that are available too. So as we reach the end of the hour here, I want to learn how have teachers reacted to this? How have teachers and students responded to the game, and what kind of implementations are you seeing?
Yeah, we've had a really good pickup of play. So most games that we put out get to about 500,000 plays in 18 months, and so this was definitely one of those. It's something that I think teachers appreciate because it does do the civics and history, and a lot of times they have to do a lot in a very little amount of time. So this does a decent amount of standards coverage pretty quick. And it also allows for a lot of personalization of how you want to use it in your classroom. So that's been really good, positive feedback. We've gotten great feedback in working with Colonial Williamsburg and their Teacher Institute. And reframe the Atlantic world for students, because in history that's old news. Everyone knows we don't call it colonial history, it's Atlantic history. But kind of helping bring up the 6 through 12 grades into that understanding, I think is strong as well. And it's cool because in our support materials, we have kids work with those big ideas a little bit more. So we do a little prep work with them. We have them like kind of anticipate some of the stuff that's going to happen in the game. And then after the game, we have a ton of stuff. So we have everything from like, here are a bunch more resources, like our bibliography that you can follow links to and read the original documents and do the things. We also provide a slide deck that kind of has intro activities supporting the gameplay and then outro activities. And then also like slides on each location and each person shown. So you can kind of, if your kids are into, right, like digging deeper or seeing more behind the scenes stuff or understanding the why of certain things in the game, the extension pack actually helps with that as well, which is kind of fun.
Where can they find that? Is that just on the game page itself?
Yep. If you need a teacher account to get to it, which is free, super easy to get. But once you get your teacher account set up, you just go to the teach part of iCivics education and you go to the materials. You just kind of scroll down and you can see it.
Awesome.
It's all there.
And for folks who are looking to implement this in the classroom, I know you had mentioned earlier that you can kind of slice and dice this and sort of time box it to what you're aiming to have people encounter. But on average, about how long would you say a playthrough of this game takes?
You want to do the whole kit and caboodle, right? The whole game, all the paths. We found it to be in around 2 hours because you are, and if you're listening to the VO, right, that's slower than most people read. So like it's around 2 hours to do all the exploring, all the linking, poking around and stuff like what Dan's been doing. If you do a specific path, like just say, let's find one path of natural rights or one path of natural sovereignty, that's going to be 20 to 30 minutes a path. And that doesn't add up in the math world, so I know that. But basically, once you get the hang of it, it goes quicker, and you can just keep motivated and quicker from there, and randomly pair things rather than like seeking out locations.
The problem starts small and then it gets really, really, really wide, and then as you answer things, it gets narrower again. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And so that's very substantive, honestly. And it's like, that sounds like, for an interested teacher, they could potentially fill multiple class periods with this,
100%.
Which is really cool to hear. So I want to talk a little bit more just about what's going on with iCivics in general, real quick, as kind of a final note. Beyond the game, are there other ways that teachers can get involved with the iCivics mission right now? I heard the Civic Star Challenge is still underway.
Yep, that's still happening. I think the countdown is 2 months and 14 days. But what this is we partnered with Bill of Rights Institute, and like we're really trying to get teachers to one, access easily doable activities from both of our organizations and track them and claim them, right? And then when you claim you've done these activities with your kids, you get put into a drawing for classroom prizes. So there's swag, there's cash, there's stuff that you can use for your classroom. So those have been happening. That has been happening for a couple months now. But it's a really cool initiative that you log activities. We give you all kinds of activities, questions, things that you can do with individual resources, right? So this game is an example of resource. A lesson from BRI, another lesson from iCivics, all of those things. And then we basically provide some extra questions that you can engage your kids with to really kind of celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration this year. So it's ending soon, so get yourself in there for a chance. But it's a neat way to kind of, teachers are doing it every day. Might as well give them some credit for it, right? So claim that work that you're doing.
And I dropped a link to this challenge in the chat here if anyone's interested in checking it out. It's really cool to see this graphic showing the nearly 5,000 submissions that have happened so far. And if you are feeling competitive, Kansas is way out ahead at 539. So if you want to bring your state, bring your state up to that level and try to catch up with Kansas here, which is just so far out ahead. I'm trying to see who the runner-up is. Looks like New York with 308 maybe. So yeah, still glory to claim out there in the Civic Star Challenge for your state. So check that out and get involved. All right, so let's see. I think that kind of wraps it up for today. This has been really cool to check out Investigation Declaration. with Colonial Williamsburg. Check out all this amazing content yourself at the links that I've dropped in the chat. There's tons there. And I want to take a moment for a statement of gratitude. Many sincere thanks to Carrie for stopping by today and playing this incredible game with us, and also for her many years of partnership and commitment to teaching civics through play. I'm already looking forward to the next opportunity to bring you back for the next gameful civics fun that we can have. So until then, thanks everyone, and thank you, Carrie, for joining us, and thanks for coming around. So tune in every week at 12:30 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time, on the Filament Games YouTube channel right here for more insider insights from the world of educational game development. See y'all next week.
Yeah, thanks
Okay.
everybody.
Bye.
See ya.